So this video is sponsored by Pionex, one of the exchanges I use all the time. It's one of the main crypto brokers to Binance, so the volume is very high. The main thing that sets them apart though is that you can use free trading bots, a variety all designed to benefit from different market behaviours, whether that's up, down or sideways. You'll get 20% off all your trading fees for life with my link in the description. And if you join the Telegram, a lot of us already use it, so if you've got questions we can try and help you out. Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a quick look at VRA and the VRA chart. So at the moment, it looks awesome. It's absolutely, utterly awesome, okay? And I don't see any reason why this should slow down. Yeah, you can get pullbacks. We're getting a pullback now at the upper middle portion of the Bollinger Band, not Bollinger Band, the pitchfork that we've had in here. A very reliable pitchfork, I might add. So it's no problem to get a rejection from here. We've got support from here, a retest of the center, a rejection from that. That's no big deal. The things that I would look for to spot and mark potential tops would be money flow index. As you can see, we've been a lot higher than this in the past when we reached that peak, went down here. We've got a peak here, it's no big deal, and a lower peak here. We're diverging massively. We're breaking out of RSI resistance. Everything looks awesome on the daily, and on the weekly also exactly the same kind of thing. Not overextended here. We are obviously pushing quite high, but I really don't see why this couldn't continue. This could be one of those ones that just continues until it doesn't. And if there is that Binance listing, that is the sort of thing that would push it over the edge. But so far, we really do not have any problems with it being this high. It could definitely go higher and continue with this march up. So we're thinking about it versus Bitcoin. I know some people don't like to do that, but if you don't like looking at Satoshi charts, you should at least reference them a little bit, because they do offer some insight into behind the scenes strength or weakness. Usually strength, to be honest with you, because it's most often the case that they are weaker charts, and this one's certainly not a weaker chart, which is why we got into it, towards basically at the bottom, and just about close to 0.8 of a cent. So that is your Bitcoin pairing, and this is the way that I've decided to trade it, and it charts out quite nicely, and it looks very neat and tidy. And again, not overextended there. The tether pairing, again, pretty much the same kind of read. We're breaking out of RSI downtrend. We're not overextended on money flow index on the daily. Check the weekly, and pretty much the same thing. I mean, we are quite high here. I mean, we're 85, but this isn't the sort of area where I'd start to get scared. Pushing above 90, I would always consider getting ready to take profit. And 95 is usually an area where I would say we're waiting for the bubble to burst, and have a much larger pullback, especially or absolutely especially on the weekly. The weekly is the one which will do it. And we've seen this in the past here. We've had peaks and pops. We've seen a peak here and a pop. This one going, honestly, it's essentially parabolic for all intents and purposes, basically what it is. But if and when we break above the previous high here, 87, we would be looking for areas of 90, beyond 92 to 95. I'll be looking to get out. I mean, look, that money flow index basically went to 99.59. Anyone who was in that trade at that stage needed to pretty much get their head tested, especially if you're buying it at that stage. But at the moment, there's no bubble pop territory in sight. Looking very good. But you know what would pop this bubble? A Binance listing. It just goes back to what I was saying a few days ago. This chart is great, this chart is epic. I'm happy to leave the rest riding, but if we do get a Binance listing, FOMO will kick in and it will break this chart. At the moment, the chart has worked really well. For those who say that TA doesn't work, I mean, it certainly did work on this occasion. It works on a lot of occasions, all right? And this one was one of the better ones of the trade entries this year. So entered more or less basically around here, and been selling all the way up. My next sell order is versus Bitcoin. It's always with Bitcoin, and it is the top of this pitchfork, which is about just short of. I think I didn't expect it to rise this fast, so I think it's 15,000 sats. So that's where I'd be looking to take the next area of profit, and that'd be in the bag. But in all fairness, we do get the Binance listing. It will break this, it will shoot out, it will blow up, it will explode, and it will then come tumbling back down again, only hopefully to carry on with its continuous upwards trend, but it would slow the chart down. So you'd get all your gains in one go, and you'd get a relatively large consolidation, and while consolidating you are at the mercy of the market. So whether we consolidate for a week, for 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months, you're at the mercy of the market during a consolidation, similar to this one. We peaked, and this is where the May crash was, dump crash, and then brought it down even further. And that was a very, very large breakdown, and that was FOMO induced, you know. So a 72% retracement versus Bitcoin. So if you had gone into Bitcoin, taken profit at the top, you would be 72% better off at this stage. Obviously, recently, you'd be breaking even, you know, from this last 3 weeks, you'd be breaking even. But, you know, if you're like me, you alternate from one to the other, from Bitcoin to alts, from alts to Bitcoin, and you make the most of the altcoin pumps, and then the Bitcoin pumps, and then the altcoin pumps. And then, you know, like I say, I'm expecting this to reach a peak if and when that Binance listing takes effect. If it doesn't take effect, this will probably make higher highs than what it would do if there was a FOMO-induced Binance listing, because the chart is so good and it's not particularly overextended at this stage. It will get overextended at one point and need to be popped, and we'll take profit appropriately. But I am on the back foot just in case that does happen, you know, the Binance listing, that is. In case that does happen, then I will certainly be taking probably 50% of what I've got left, you know, and the rest can just ride it out, just because you just don't know. You know, one of my mottos is never be all in and never be all out. So yeah, that is what that's what I have planned to do for myself. You guys do what you want to do. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. Absolutely epic chart, ripping it up still completely tearing it up, and I expect this tear up to continue regardless of a Binance listing or not. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.